Atheists and Christians debate truth and belief. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. Atheists and Christians, atheist and religious debates are always super interesting. I'm interested to see if this is going to be like a super controversial, heated discussion between people, or if there's going to be some middle ground. It'll depend on what the questions are as well. What the questions are going to matter.
And my father, and I was in an abusive marriage, and my father yelled at me that I was going to hell when I walked out. I'm sorry. I don't believe in a God that would believe that.
Fair. Appreciate the support, Virgo. It doesn't go unnoticed.
Can I have all of my atheists over there? Can I have all my believers over here?
Atheists and believers. They couldn't be standing further from each other.
Pineapple
Jesus.
belongs on pizza.
What?
You gotta be kidding.
That's a nice icebreaker.
My wife will not.
Also, the answer to this question is absolutely yes. Hawaiian pizza is so good. It's just food. There are no rules with this, right? Pineapple belongs on pizza. Maybe not every pizza, but it is certainly a fantastic addition.
My wife will not have a pizza unless there's pineapple on it.
You can try anything on pizza.
Yeah.
So why not pineapple?
I'm going to bring in the disagreeers.
Pineapple pizza.
This is a nice question to get started though.
Cheese, the sauce, and the bread. That's it.
It's like candy though. It's like having candy on a pizza. It's
No,
like two good
how
things.
wrong is that? It's like putting M&Ms on a pizza.
Nutella pizza? Anyone? Beautiful. Beautiful.
Time. Back to our side.
Hawaiian's so good, man. I know it's not like a traditional Italian meal, but like, it's so good. Now I want pizza for dinner. God damn it. I haven't had dinner yet. I bought some like vegan, or not vegan, I bought some vegetarian lasagna earlier today. I'm gonna have that. But now I just want pizza.
I'm nervous about what's going to happen today.
What a great question to start with. Just get people to be like, yep,
I mean,
I'm stressed.
because this is a normal topic that people can usually talk about, but in this climate, it's very touchy to even say I believe or I don't believe. You know,
Right.
so.
It's funny, I would think that you would feel safer in the belief category than I feel in the non-belief category. I was raised in a house very culturally Jewish. We talked a lot about God and religion and many different religions of the world, but I wasn't raised with any faith, with any religious faith in the house.
Just 2 years ago, I hated Christians. I think I was an atheist, but I voiced all my doubts and skepticisms, and they gave me their perspective on it. That kind of opened me up, and that's why I'm a man of faith today.
I think that woman made a good point earlier about the Christian feeling safer today. Not that there's going to be like any fighting necessarily. Like there's only so much risk in a filmed discussion in a warehouse. But a lot of America's very religious, aren't they? Like it's like the ratios are not even close. Let me just Google this. I've gone to Wikipedia, the source of truth. Roughly 2/3 of Americans are religious in some sense, not necessarily Christian. I thought it was like 80-85% of Americans were religious. So that's much lower than I thought it was going to be.
I believe there is good in every person.
It's almost like the people interviewing these guys and questioning them doesn't want to cause any controversy. Asking really like gentle questions. Give me the controversy, man. Give me the debate.
If I just choose to believe that everyone is purely bad or evil, then that's going to be pretty.
And then you have to decide what the definition of good
Yeah,
is. What
like
is good?
according to Christianity, there's no.
Yep, she's trying to spark the debate. What is good? The easy answer for Christians.
Decide what the definition of good
Yeah,
is. What
like
is good?
according to Christianity, there's no one good. No, not one. But I don't necessarily believe that if no one's good. I
We're
don't
born
want.
with a sin nature.
Yeah, so that's hard. Is like my definition of good may not align with Scripture, so it's hard because that's why I hesitated. Like I want to believe everybody's good.
If that's antithetical to the Christian belief, is that you're born is sinful. It's interesting that the three of you came who are believers in that.
I'm not saying people are innately good. I'm just saying I just understood the question as all people are capable of good.
I think before we hear from the disagreeers, I think that's where I would probably say I fall in. Everyone is capable of good. I wouldn't say anyone is innately born evil or good. But everyone's capable of good. Everyone's capable of good. The problem is a good act, or even a string of good acts, doesn't necessarily make a person good. And vice versa, I think, depending on the act, I suppose. But it's a tough subject, man. It's a very tough subject, and it's an interesting one, as all tough subjects are. But it's like, what determines whether a person is good or bad? Is it the average of all the acts that they've ever done? Is it the weighting of those acts? I don't think any single person is all one thing. It's probably a scale.
Yeah, no.
Start with Hitler and go from there. Or people,
Jesus Christ, keep it light, love.
or some people born good and turn bad.
Well, I think that's why the definition of good is subjective. That's why it's like each his own for a definition, which is kind of hard.
We don't know what is right or wrong without the Bible, because it's God that makes the rules.
Really?
Without God,
Really?
you have no rules.
You can't make a decision on your own whether it's good or bad.
What about Hitler? He made a decision. He
Right,
thought it was
and-
good.
And he was wrong. You don't need the Bible to tell.
That's not a good argument. I know where he's coming from. Like when he says we don't know good and bad or right and wrong without the Bible, he's obviously referring to people that believe in Christianity. That's fine. But that doesn't make sense to say that because Hitler made a decision and got it wrong, that no one is able to make a decision on right and wrong. All the Hitler situation proves is that it's possible to get that decision wrong. Not that you can't make it. If that makes sense.
You can't make a decision on your own whether it's good or bad.
What about Hitler? He made a decision. He
Right,
thought it was
and-
good.
And he was wrong. You don't need the Bible
Yeah, that doesn't
to
make
tell
sense.
you that.
Well, you're born with that. God put that in you.
As
That
you
nature,
believe.
that conscience.
As you believe.
That's not a belief, it's a fact.
They're just dumbstruck. They're like, what do we say? What do we say now? That's
Born with that.
incredible.
God put that in you.
Brian
as
acted
you,
up a
That
little bit.
conscience.
As you believe.
That's not a belief, it's a fact. I'm an author of 2 books where I give the whole history of the Earth from paleontology, geology, archaeology, publish about 4 articles on numerous subjects, including politics, science, meteoritics, dinosaurs.
I believe my life has worth and value.
I think just going back a little bit, you can't say that that's a fact. I don't think he can say that that's a fact. He's absolutely able to say that that's his belief. And I think that doesn't mean nothing. Like, having a belief isn't nothing. That means something. But the F word? Sorry, what was that question? I believe my life has worth and value.
To my
Do you know what? I'm not sure what I believe. I don't know what I think, actually. It's not a belief, it's a fact. It wasn't a good argument. No, I don't think so either. I don't think so either. But I don't think there's anything wrong with saying this is my belief. That's totally fine. Yeah, touchy subject.
Yes, I would want people to think that they have worth and value, but I mean, we are all ants on a big ball.
We are all very important. The design and those things, if a man were to design...
Why is she laughing at him?
Worth and
She
value,
agrees
but-
with him on this. Hold on. Why is she
Yes,
laughing at
I
him?
would want people to think that they have worth and value, but I mean, we are all ants on a big ball.
We are all very important. The design and those...
What a bitch. What the fuck? She came and sat down here and then she just starts laughing at him. What the fuck?
things, if a man were to...
Not even just laughing. Smirking in a dismissive way. That's not cool. What the fuck? Sorry, I'm interrupting the video. I'll let it play.
Yes, I would want people to think that they have worth and value, but I mean, we are all ants on a big ball.
We are all very important. The design and those things, if a man were to design it, it would cost several $1 million to make a human, if that were possible. And yet, God has created...
That's a weird thing to say. I think I agree with him that that all humans are important. Although that's a bit of a nuanced situation, a nuanced a belief that I'd need to explain a bit more. But then he's talking about $1 million or millions of dollars. I don't think that's the best argument for it.
Billions of us.
I believe in people. I believe we make our own choices. I don't believe that there is a overriding being controlling those choices or controlling our situation.
You are important.
No, you can't dismiss a person's opinion. I don't think you can. Everyone's allowed to have their own opinions. The trouble with this is, like, how much weight does a person's opinion have in the world when it comes to how they interact with other people, how they interact with companies and property and animals and nature and the environment. So yeah, I don't think anyone's opinion is ever a problem. I think it's their actions, and also, I've never had to word this before, but I think someone's opinions don't necessarily cause their actions. I think someone's value of their opinions causes their actions. I don't even know if that's a distinction worth making, to be honest, but I want to hear what this woman had to say, because she doesn't believe people have any value.
You are important.
So I do not think that inherently just existing gives you worth and value. I think that you make choices, personal choices every single day on how you live your life and how you treat people and how you exist in the world, and those...
Well, hold on. You just made a definition about what value is, but you still don't believe you're valuable based on your explanation?
I said I'm not inherently valuable. My being born does not just...
You're saying based on your contribution to the world determines your value, right? Or you get that?
No, please don't.
Oh, no, I'm not trying. I'm trying to figure out what you meant.
There are many people who just exist.
These two women on screen at the moment just give me bad vibes. That Asian dude was just asking a question. He was just trying to clarify. He's like, please don't do that. Please don't do that. The fuck? Have a conversation. That's what you're here for.
I'm trying to figure out what you meant.
There are many people who just exist because of instinct or because... Do their lives have value? I don't know. If they find value in it, sure. If they don't, maybe not. Who am I to judge whether somebody's life is inherently valuable?
Whether life has value is a topic of conversation that comes up a lot with religious and atheistic and even spiritual and philosophical debates and concepts and ideas. You have to, I think, before you can even have that conversation, before you can even work out what you believe, you have to work out what value means. I think the religious, and I don't want to put words in people's mouths, but I think the religious guy, sorry, was saying that you have value because, I think because God created you. I might be getting that wrong. But you've got to work out what the value is. Like even in terms of money, or maybe not money, but like I value certain things differently to other people. Some people value X over Y, and other people are vice versa, the opposite. So value itself is not a very helpful word to use. So if the question is, do people have value? That doesn't mean anything. You haven't actually asked a question. Well, you haven't asked a good question then, as far as I'm concerned. But I do know roughly what people are trying to get at when they ask that question. I think it definitely deserves a better definition in future. If you have that conversation with someone, I would say yes. I think we have value because we have value to ourselves. The best way I would answer it is that we have value because... Oh, the question as it's worded is actually at the bottom of the screen. I don't know if you can see that. In fact, I know that you can't. Let me just... It's at the bottom. Oh, we can't even see it. Anyway. The question is, I believe my life has worth and value. And, I mean, yeah, the way that question's phrased is actually good because it's subjective to yourself and you get to decide whether your life has worth and value, and you get to decide by what metrics you're working that out. So yeah, I think everyone gets to decide for themselves. I think when you talk about other people though, you have to start from the fact that other human beings' lives have value. Or actually, I'm leaving it open, that can of worms, because I need to think about that a bit more. Anyway, I'm pausing the video for too long.
On the existence of a higher power.
I am a woman of faith and belief. I believe in the supernatural and higher power and a being, that there's no accident in the way we were created. Yeah, I think anytime I have gone through hardship, I've questioned not just what I believe. I question my life, I question my profession, I question my relationships. So
I think, if you believe, whether it's Islam, Hindu, I think you have to doubt it. You can't just jump in there and be like, sign me up, I agree with everything, let's do this.
That would be for you, but that's not for everybody that is a believer of any particular religion. Some people don't question anything.
But in your view, by standing and saying, I don't think there's any higher power, do you ever face any doubt of thinking, maybe there is?
Well, the definition of an atheist is someone who does not believe. It's not a declaration per se that there is no God. I am an atheist activist. I'm on the board of Atheists United here in Los Angeles and on the steering committee for Americans United for Separation of Church and State.
All right, come on in.
I'm interested to hear what this guy has to say. I quite like him.
I've never had any doubt.
He's
'Cause
kind
I
of
can see design
nice.
everywhere. And you are not an atheist, because I can see design everywhere.
Sorry, I missed the start of what he said. I'm missing a lot. I apologize.
No, I've never had any doubt, because I can see design everywhere. And you are not an atheist, you're an agnostic.
Nope.
You see,
I'm
an
atheist.
agnostic
No,
believes...
don't tell me what I am.
It's totally unnecessary to correct her, but I'm pretty sure he's right, because I'm pretty sure he's right. I'm gonna have to Google this just to make sure I get it right, but yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he's right.
I am an atheist.
An atheist doesn't believe
I'm an atheist, no.
An atheist doesn't believe in the super...
She doesn't even want to listen to it. Where did they get these atheists from? They're all fucking bitches. Sorry, I shouldn't say that, but they're all just ridiculous. They don't want to listen, they don't want to talk. I feel like this video could have been so much better with better atheists.
Supernatural,
No.
period.
An atheist
An
does
agnostic
not believe in
does believe
An
in the
atheist is
supernatural.
someone that does not
He
believe
just
in
doesn't
God.
believe in
I
God.
am telling you what an atheist
Oh, no, hold on, he got that wrong at the end there. It's hard to hear over her bickering, but I'm pretty sure you got that wrong.
Supernatural. You're an agnostic.
No, I'm an atheist. No.
An atheist doesn't
The
believe in the
definition-
supernatural,
No.
period.
An atheist
An
does not
agnostic
believe. No.
does believe
An
in the
atheist is someone
supernatural.
that does not
He
believe
just
in
doesn't
God.
believe in
I
God.
am telling you.
I think he said that an agnostic does believe in the supernatural, just not in God. I've never heard that definition before at all, except maybe for people that are spiritual, maybe. I don't think that's right, but I wanna make sure. Maybe he is. He seems like a smart man. Yeah, no, I mean, no definition of agnosticism I've ever heard mentions the supernatural. He's right that she's wrong, though. So, an agnostic is someone who doesn't know, or basically believes that like you can't know whether God exists or not. Whereas people that are like atheists or like active atheists is a term I've heard, actively believe there is no God, which is like an active belief that there is nothing, rather than saying I don't know really, which is what agnosticism is. But for the most part, people generally refer to atheists as someone who doesn't believe in God, regardless of whether they believe there is no God or they don't know. Like I said, totally irrelevant.
You what an atheist is.
You're wrong.
No,
Do you believe in the
I am an
supernatural?
atheist. You know,
Do you
look,
believe
look,
in the
look,
supernatural?
Look, do not tell me
Do you believe
what
in
I am.
witches?
We don't need to make it. You know,
Do you
look,
believe
look,
in
look.
the
These guys over here, they just love it. She face palmed. She literally face palmed.
What an atheist is.
You're wrong.
No,
Do you believe in the
I am an
supernatural?
atheist.
That's incredible.
Do you
Look,
believe
look,
in the
look,
supernatural?
Do not
He's just
tell
like,
me
what? What am I
Do you
doing?
believe
what
in
I am.
witches?
We don't need to make anybody right or wrong. It's just answer the question, give her space to talk. Give her space to talk.
Do you believe that this line of interrogation, questioning furthers your
No, I'm just giving facts.
Saved by the Bell?
These women are gonna kill him. I'm feeling frustrated right now. Go on, all three of you. All
I'm feeling
three of you.
frustrated because it's even amidst the fellow believers, like the things he says, I'm just like, yo, I don't even know. I don't want what he says to reflect what my faith is too, you know what I mean?
I think it's sad that people are so determined to make other people wrong. And I grew up in a household with a conservative Jewish mother and a born-again Christian father. And I was in an abusive marriage. And my father yelled at me that I was going to hell when I walked out. I'm sorry. I don't believe in a God that would believe that.
Yeah, that's not.
It's not, and that is objectively, I don't care. That's
in
crazy.
These conversations, like, you know, if we have people who are just trying to drive their point through and almost
Exactly.
converting it, it kind of shuts down conversation. I
Exactly.
want what you believe and why you don't.
Again, we have the power to choose our.
She's right though, the girl in the green. She mentioned that everyone's out just to prove each other wrong. And it's like, yeah, like nobody's in these discussions to learn. It's the point of these discussions should be to learn. The point of these discussions should be to talk about something and get to the truth of the matter as best you can, right? As best you can. But I think she's right. Everyone generally has these conversations to just kind of prove each other wrong. Not just about religion and atheism, about everything. Audio is good. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. What he's saying is not necessarily facts. That's my opinion. To be honest, I almost think that it's a fact that what he's saying is not facts. But no, I mean when you talk about the definition of the words, he's talking about fact. I think he's wrong. He was almost right. I had faith in him. But I think he got the definition
Our
wrong.
response to things. So I choose not to feel hurt. I choose not to be misunderstood.
I think there's safety in being heard and understood. You feel as if whatever it is that you want to be understood about matters.
I'm getting married in the next 2 months, and I'm learning that just loving is not the same as understanding. See, it takes energy and effort to understand someone who's different. I think we're kind of, as a society, becoming lazy. So we're like, oh, you're different. I don't want to understand. I need people who are just saying. It's always been that way. It's always been.
Time.
This dude's smart. This dude's smart.
I believe, as a person, I have room for improvement.
I'm going to be honest, I'm not thrilled about the questions. They've got nothing to do with religion or belief. And there's been some interesting discussions, but it's kind of like, okay, we've got some atheists and Christians to come in and talk about some random stuff. I don't know.
Oh, look, we all agree.
We all have room for improvement.
Maybe it's a good thing that they haven't just antagonized this group too much.
That's my aspiration on a daily basis, is to be a better person.
We're always learning.
I used to think at some point I would actualize into, I've made it. I've made it into maturity and wisdom. No.
Yeah, it'd be nice one day if you could just look back and be like, okay, personal development as a human being, check. Finished.
Do you think when I'm in college I'll have it figured out?
Yep.
When I graduate I'll have it figured out. When I get married I'll have it figured out. When I have kids I'll have it figured out. But
Preach.
we're always...
We won't reach perfection till we get to heaven.
Bro. It's the end of the day. It's the end of the video. Everyone agreed. Everyone was happy. Everyone was like getting along. This motherfucker.
Down here is an imperfect world. Our knowledge is imperfect. Our bodies are imperfect. Our world is imperfect.
That glare. Holy shit. Oh my god. Let's just take that in for a second.
I mean, I'm agreeing with you, but it's the delivery of it.
All right,
we understand,
improvement.
But
Right, let's stay up.
We all, what was the question? We all
Oh,
believe that
no.
we have room for improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly.
All right, Alyssa, I acknowledge you for keeping very, very focused and not getting ever heated, but staying focused.
I appreciate your honesty and the way you stand up for what you believe.
Nancy, you have a presence of self. You have a very still, very centered quality to you that is very admirable.
Christine, I acknowledge you for not running out of the room when you were in a controversial conversation. I acknowledge you for standing your ground, for believing what you believe, and you've got a lot of fight in you. Oh, Jeremy, I acknowledge you for being unwaveringly firm in what you believe, and not caring whether it's controversial or difficult to say what you believe. That is a sign of passion.
Peter, I think you're growing, and I think...
To be fair, that's a good point. I'm sure if this guy's got any self-awareness, he knows the other people's opinions of him right now. But he's also sticking true to what he believes, which is, I think, an admirable trait for the most part.
It's going to make it grow even more.
You just seem like a very comfortable guy who's willing to learn and grow, and that's a lovely, lovely quality in somebody. Rissa, you have this ability to take stock of yourself and make decisions. Like when you said, I choose not...
These two on the right have been my favorite people in this video, for sure, for sure.
...to be hurt, and so I'm not hurt. It's an amazing...
They both seem like they've got a lot of social awareness and self-awareness.
Nice to meet you. Bye, guys.
Are we invited to the wedding?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll see you
Put a handshake. Oh, no, thank you.
They send there and I can't make it out.
Ha! I don't know if you guys can see this. Yeah, you should be able to. Look at old mate and the woman at the back as they have this little interaction.
Bye, guys.
Are we invited to the wedding?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll see you
Put a handshake. Oh, no, thank you.
They send there and I can't make it out.
He tries to hand her a business card. Presumably. And she's like, oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. He shot his shot. He shot his shot. He really does, doesn't he? He really does come off as somebody who thinks he knows everything. I feel like he didn't seem super antagonistic. He didn't seem like he wanted to, like, take every opportunity to tell someone that they were wrong. But he also had the mindset of, well, I've got nothing to learn today. I'm going to teach these guys the way of the world and the way that it actually is. And even the other theists, even the other Christians were kind of getting sick of him, I think. Kind of getting over him. That's tough. That's tough. But yeah, I mean, this title, Debate Truth and Belief. Oh, you can't see it on the screen. I don't know that the questions were all that good about... I don't think they debated truth and belief. They just debated some vague topics that religion sometimes talks about and that spirituality sometimes talks about. Anyway,